It is the Flow Friday Night Sports Show, and let's have a look now at what happened to the Ouyen United Kangas over the weekend in the netball. We'll have a look at what's happening in Sunraysia netball in general as well. The head kangaroo is back once more. Cailtlin Vine, how are you?
I'm good. It's good to be back and having something good to talk about with netball.
Yes, good to actually have some games to talk about. Mind you, tough weekend for your girls first up, having to run into Wentworth, and what made it even worse is the old spicy cough raised its head through your club again, unfortunately, didn't it?
Yes. Unfortunately, the morning of, we had two of our A-grade centre courts out with COVID, so that meant that we had a couple of our C and B graders step up into the A-grade, which was a fantastic opportunity for them, for Eliza and Holly, and a great show of our teamwork within our team. But, yeah, unfortunately had a tough day at the office against Wentworth. They were just so strong throughout all of their teams. I think we had a draw in the under 13, and our under 11s don't score, but their coach informed me that we won both of those games. So there was some positives still at the Kangas on the weekend.
Good stuff. All right. So no wins to write home about, but obviously everyone's going to be juggling, bits and pieces. When people go down with COVID on Saturday morning, it makes it awfully difficult to fill a side, first of all. And when you lose players out of your A-grade tour, of course, everyone's got to go up, which just makes things even worse, I guess. But look, I know you guys won't be using that sort of stuff as an excuse, but reality is it's going to work for you some days and against you others.
And that's it. We definitely didn't see it as an excuse for our performance. I think we all still had a great team game, and we just have lots to take away from that. I know lots of other teams have already either been experiencing changing their teams last minute with COVID, and for sure every team will experience it throughout the season. So not something that we're worried about. It's just something that we have to work with. And, lots of positives to come out of the game. Considering the amazing team that Wentworth have, I thought that some of our players shut down some of their bigger players. And it was quite an even contest until the sort of last quarter. So, lots of positives around the club still.
Good stuff. All right. And how's your body pulled up? Because you had to pull the sneakers on and go and play in the A-grade too, they tell me.
Yeah, I've gone from playing a half and 3/4 to having to play 5 or 6 quarters last week. It was a little tough on the old body, but no, it was a lot of fun, and lots of people stepped up and played 5 or 6 quarters, which was great to see.
Good stuff. Hey, let's have a look at the scores from some of the other matches from round 2 as well. Just the final score in the A-grade for your game was?
46-31, so 15 goals in the end. I think we were only 4 down at half-time, and Wentworth just got the run on from there.
15 goals is absolutely nothing in netball terms. You're talking about 2 or 3 turnovers a quarter, really. That's all it is. So that'll be easy to fix when you're back at full strength. But let's have a look at the other matches that were played. I think it was Mildura taking on Merbein as well. How did that game go?
Yeah, so very, very tight game. I think it was only 2 goals, the difference between the whole game, and Mildura ended up winning 42-38. So very tight game.
Wow, okay. Robinvale Euston, they took on Irimple, went in as underdogs in that one. How did that go?
I think I tipped Robinvale, didn't I?
You did.
I thought
You
they
did
were going to
tip
get
them
up,
against the grain.
Unfortunately, Irimple beat Robinvale 45-30. So not quite there, but still a pretty good. That's 15 goals as well. Yep. So pretty good effort.
That's nothing as well, like we said before. So, the game, I think I sort of tipped this as a match of the round, and clearly Mildura Merbein's hard to go past, but South Mildura taking on Imperials. How did that end up?
Yeah, so South, that was their first game in their new South sporting precinct. So the netball is actually played on indoor courts, on brand spankers. So that was a big thing for South Mildura, and I hope it all went well for them. And they must have had a good day on the courts, because South beat Imperials 60-48.
Wow. That's a big win. Big win for South. Great way to start the season for them.
Yeah. They just sounded unstoppable. So sounds like South have got their strength back. They had that strength sort of back in 2017, 18, even a bit in 19, and missed it for the last 2 years. But, yeah, it sounds like they're back in a big way.
Okay. All right. Well, that was last week. The luck of the draw sometimes just goes for you, doesn't it? So Wentworth, instead of having the bye before they play Ouyen United, get the bye after it. So they'll have a week off now. And let's talk about your crew. You'll be hitting the road, heading to Kenny Park to take on Merbeen.
Yeah, yep. Really excited to have a hit out with Merbeen. They had that really strong start in the first week, and then a very tight game against Mildura last week. So a bit of an unknown going into Merbeen's game, but I think having our two centre courts back in and hopefully fit and ready to go in A grade, that will then follow on, and everyone should have a good chance of getting a win, hopefully.
All right. The rest of the club, hopefully everyone can avoid passing on the spicy cough, and you can get as close to full strength as possible. But it's one of those things, I guess, come what may.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about other matches. So Redcliffs are back after a week off. They will take on South Mildura. South Mildura go from their brand spanking indoor courts down to Quandong Park to take on the Tiger Girls, who just they're always consistent. They never get beaten by more than 20, 25 at a time, but they just can't crack it for a win at the minute. Yeah.
They'll get there. I still have so much faith in the Redcliffe Girls, but I think South will continue their unstoppable winning streak. And, there's been lots of scores with those 60 or 60-plus goals, which is pretty impressive. So, and I think South will probably do that again this week.
All right. Imperials will take on Robin Vale Euston. This will be an interesting game too. So Robin Vale not far away from it. Imperials got a little bit of a touch-up last week, so not an ideal week to get them.
Yeah, I think this one could go either way. As I said at the start of the year, Imperials looked really fit, and they did obviously still put up a good fight against South. I know their goal defence, Meg McManus, is pretty much unstoppable. So I think Imperials will have a good crack against Robin Vale and probably get the win.
All right. And here's your match of the round, folks. Irimple taking on Mildura after their good wins last week. So you could probably toss a coin between both of those two games that we've just talked about as match of the round. And even your game against Merbeen is going to be a beauty as well. So there's three cracking games to toss a coin over this week, and Irimple Mildura will be one of those.
Definitely. It's going to be a very, very tight round. I'm excited to see what the scores end up being next week. I think Mildura might get up.
It's a tough one. It is a tough one.
They've got a lot of height in their team, and I think they'll use that to their advantage.
All right. Well, tough to tip at the moment, but we'll be watching the scores come through with great interest, and we'll catch up, Cailtlin, next week. Anything else before we wrap it up?
No, just looking forward to getting back up to Merbeen and having a good crack, and hopefully our juniors and our seniors can come home with a couple of W's.
Yep. Good on you, mate. All the best, and we'll catch you next week.
Thanks. Go Kangas.